Hi, and welcome. My name is Katrina, and this is our Vampire the Masquerade stream behind the scenes after we finished our last episode of season 2. And well, we've done this before and we'd love to do it again, just for you guys to get to know us a little bit better and maybe to get a little bit more understanding and the thought process that went behind all the hubbub of season 2. But before we get into the juicy bits, as per usual, for the last time for a little while, please welcome my beautiful players as well as their characters.
Hi, I'm still Marianne, and I did play Siobhan Price/York, 10th generation Toreador, and she had quite a trip.
Hi, I'm Ty. I'm playing Christopher Masters, 10th generation Ventru. Now reaching the pinnacle of power, probably. I'm sure it's going to be all downhill from here, knowing our storyteller, right? But things for season 3.
I'm still Ørjan. I'm still playing Sean of no and many names. And he's still a 9th generation gangrel, probably more beast
Such
than
a
man.
cheater.
Such a cheater.
Winner.
Chicken dinner.
No, there were no chicken involved. No chicken
No.
involved.
Well, technically, he did try to run away.
Got me on a technicality.
We have quite a few questions that you guys have sent in to us, as well as I have some questions for my beautiful players, and I'm sure all three have questions for each other and for me, maybe. We'll see. I'm gonna give the stage over to Ørjan, and he can throw the first question at us, and let's get it show on the road.
Yeah, I've collected some questions from our viewers. Compared from start to end of the season, where did you think things were going versus where it actually went?
Who is this for?
all of us.
Everyone? Yeah.
I guess everyone, I mean.
Anyone, feel free to jump in.
Well, the storyteller can start.
Ooh,
It would be best for the storyteller to finish and let the
I
player...
would-
Yeah,
I
so
would-
she can reveal where
yeah.
she wanted us to go, and then we
Yeah.
can
Well,
see how we messed up.
Well, I can start.
Yeah.
Well, how did it start? How did I think? It definitely turned out to be higher stakes and more dire situation for the Vampire Society of Boston than I thought. It went faster. I think, well, change came a hell of a lot faster than I thought, and especially than Chris would have thought. I mean, I don't think he would have expected to find himself in such a position within, month after being embraced. So definitely, let's escalated quickly, to quote the meme. So yeah, that was surprising in that sense. The word that actually was so profound changes to the city, leaving young vampires and the players in such a position that we actually could influence to such a high degree. I thought we would be able to influence the city. I thought we would make move, but I wouldn't necessarily expected it to go that far.
Pull some strings instead of
Yeah. But having said that, I think it's going to be very interesting to play season 3 because it's going to be something different from what I've played before, like completely different from what I've played before in that sense. So.
Cool.
Can't hardly wait.
I mean, you're going to have a huge bullseye on your back.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be desperately trying to be amiable enough that no one sees clear advantages for removing him, but rather put profit with having him there. It's gonna be like doing a ballet dance on a tightrope.
I mean, you've escalated. You climbed the vampire ladder quicker than you'd done the Mafia
Oh,
or so
no,
one.
no,
Like that
quicker, but, like,
wouldn't.
extremely more quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the by effect of everyone dying.
Well, fair enough. So yeah, okay, next. Marianne?
I'm kind of the same as Taya. I think I expected us to maybe play the time longer, but I think we merely got into a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, but not very far from the embrace to where we ended it. And I think I foresaw like the time being longer, like maybe we played a year or something. And I definitely was hoping Shiv would get over Aiden through that year, and not just be fucked up by all his clues and reminiscence of him. I think the love story I thought was done, like with season 2. I didn't have like a plan going into season 2, and I don't think like Shiv or Marianne knew what her role would be or where that would take her because of the way it was played season 1. Like, I didn't expect Shiv to actually go in and want a power role or anything like that because of just the way she was thrown into it. Like, she was really, really comfortable in the real world, the mundane world. And I think the entire thing just threw her for a loop. Definitely threw me for a loop. Even though I knew I was playing vampire, Shiv didn't. So I don't know. I'm still where I hope, because I was really afraid that people were, I don't know, would be bored by the love story maybe. But I think it still has some really like a solid foundation, and it's really, really interesting the way that it turned out. So I don't know. Yeah. Low expectations. Just didn't expect anything that happened. Yeah. Crocodiles and mouses or rats and yeah, everything else. And didn't expect the Elian to do what he did either. And now sending the ball over to you.
Well, in many ways, I saw the pace coming. I think I'm the one of us that's been playing most with Katrina the last 20 years, and she has a brutal pace. Mostly because we usually play Hunter, and that is a game that is fast paced.
Yep.
You burn the light in all the ends,
Both ends.
and
All ends.
you go out like a boom. I didn't expect this pace. Well, I did expect a pace, but not this pace. I had a plan for him to go to take a dark turn in this season. That was a plan. The way it went, some of it planned, some of it not. I was hoping for more time in the mundane world, but since all the everything was on fire all the time, he didn't get the time for that, and that's also the reason why he lost humanity that fast. He didn't have anything to ground him in the human world as the beast was taking hold of him.
And also you ate your granddad.
Might have something to do with it.
Sometimes a dog's gotta do what a dog's gotta do.
Sometimes you just eat your granddad.
Yeah.
Nom nom nom.
But I like,
Aged meat. Mm.
Yeah.
and I like
Dry
what I liked
aged.
about that. Is that like, you're correct that he didn't. It's sort of a cautionary like, tale in one way of what could happen to a young vampire. Like when you're just suddenly like how fast the beast can sneak up and how fast things can go bad.
Yeah.
Or how human some other vampires get. How soft and lovey-dovey.
I definitely didn't see that for Chris. That's a touch, by the way. Yeah, I would have thought. First of all, I thought the first one to lose humanity would be Chris. I thought Chris probably would be the first one to jabberize anyone, and I certainly did not think that he'd end up having his own little love story. That was surprising to say the least, but fun. One of the fun things of playing when it become that is almost become more human in some aspects after he became a vampire than before, because he no longer is able to shut off his feelings to such a degree that he could before.
And I think actually to touch upon what we did in season 1 was we had one concern: are we playing humans too much? And now there's also a benefit of doing that, because now it's such a stark contrast to actually being the vampire beast that you are. So you have that longing for the human life because you played it. You literally played it for a season, and now that's taken away from you. So I was hoping for even more of that, the sense of like panic beast, like a clear transformation, to really get into the depths of you're not playing a human anymore, you're playing this creature now. And to play the creature, you must understand the human. And I think for me it makes sense. And yes, I do play a high-paced game, but there's method to the madness. There is a reason why, because I like it. I also wanted to have an intense season 2 to create yet again for the next chapter, which will be different than the first and the second. You fought for something. You've bled and burned for the city and your comrades. And then what you now have gained or lost will all of a sudden yet again matter, as your loss of human self from season 1 to season 2. And now you gained or lost something greater or bigger from season 2 to season 3. But that's yet to be determined. Well, usually always for storytellers, at least for my part, players always do fucked up shit that you don't see coming. They just do. They just do. And
I can't see what you mean.
I kind of knew what I wanted, but how that was supposed to look like, I was somewhat unsure of. I knew I wanted to place all of you in a position of power. And I couldn't necessarily, I can't control your actions, and I will not do it, so I can only control my NPCs. So one of the moments that changed everything for me and gave me a different opening was when Siobhan convinced her grandsire to stay. That changed everything. I was going to do something completely different, but that opened up a door where the narrative of it all, the story, made sense. It made sense. I had an in to change it in a way that, like, yeah, this is perfect. This works for me as a storyteller. But I have that, for me to determine every single time shit doesn't go the way I planned, that would be every single time we play. Because I will not, and I cannot control my players. I will not railroad them. So I can only control my NPCs, and sometimes they have to run. They're thinking, I thought we were going to get into that scene. I'm like, no, come on, guys. We're running that way now. Everybody move. So yeah, but I'm thankful for it. It keeps it interesting and it keeps it strange.
Can I have a question? Is there anything that happened that you are sad didn't, like, if you had something in your mind? Is there anything we did that fucked up a really cool thing that you can actually tell us about?
If it fucked up, no, not fucked up. Because usually, no. Nothing like fucked up, like, oh no, now everything is ruined, or I wish I had that scene. Because I think I enjoy the way you guys find your way through my world so much that, I don't know, if you were lesser players, maybe I would have been more like hungry for some scenes that I think I would take pride in. But usually I'm just in awe that what I think and what you guys, you surprise me, and I'm usually just super stoked. And sometimes your solutions are better than mine, and I'm never going to tell you when. So there.
But I got another question which is tangential to this, and that is, miraculously enough, we managed to go into the lion's den and not only defeat, or at least defeat the big baddie although the minor baddie seems to have gotten away, but we actually all survived as well. Did you have any contingency plans if everything went to shit? We all
I
died?
did not
Everything-
expect to survive at
No,
all. Like
I
that
mean,
that was the last. Like, I'm so thankful to the dice gods that allowed Örjan to have so many shit rolls during the season, so it kind of evened it up and gave me entire all the good ones in the end. Like, thank you.
I had two options. If all of y'all just messed up completely and did absolutely bonkers shit
and died,
or potentially were gonna die, I had two options that I was like, okay, if and I need something, because it would be just horrible if everybody just died in like a shit explosion, or like
there were 2 hunters in backup.
Yeah, I had 2 hunters in backup. Kitty Cat was there, and she would be my little ace in the hole if need be. But if I can't save a player that does everything to literally murder himself or herself, I can't. Like, I'm not gonna like jump and fall on the sword for them. If they go gung ho and do absolutely asinine suicide missions, I'm gonna go, all right, sweetheart, you go, and I'll eat popcorn, and you'll get fan shit.
Yeah, but that's fair.
Blood.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Note to self, always have Kitty
Definitely.
Cat around. Okay.
But if the dice gods are having a day off and everything is beautiful and it's good story and it works, but everything just seems to, it goes foobar, I have to have something, and that's what I had. I had a little ace up my sleeve.
If we had died, sorry, I'm just throwing in another question, just because of the whole Trixie thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't Trixie, but it was still the vessel of Trixie.
Yeah.
If we died, would that have been another backup?
You basically, I'm guessing everybody now understand that Trixie, or aka the goddess, is a horrendously old vampire. It's a borderline Methuselah. For fuck's sake. Oh, I'm
Methuselah,
swearing.
yeah, borderline antediluvian.
I've been doing
Antediluvian, yeah, antediluvian.
Yeah.
So,
I guess 4th generation.
yeah. So again, it's like I have the freedom there because I've put such a powerful entity, but made it powerless. I can then, as a storyteller tool, I can switch it on and off if need be. But
So it's almost like a Deus Ex Machina tool, but it's introduced, so it's not a complete.
I don't think you should introduce overpowered NPCs that the players never feel they can ever compete with or deal with. Because then they're like, it's just like, oh, here's a god. You all are pissants. Here's a god, but she's a pissant. I think it's more interesting when it's dualities. Grey tones are always more interesting.
Yeah, because you get these small episodes of awe, and then suddenly it's just a kid again.
Yeah. So, but that's what a creative, like, I like to create NPCs. That's my jam. I think though, if you're gonna do it, you have to think it through. You need to understand if you're gonna put in a very powerful thing. Know what you're doing. It is like putting a bomb in the room, and then not thinking people are going to react to it. They are. So then don't blame your players for reacting to the bomb in the room. You have to know what you're doing when you're putting in powerful NPCs in games.
There will always be that strange person who really wants to go poke the bomb.
Yeah, and there's always going to be that asshole that says, I'll shoot it in the head. I'll pick a fight with it. And then you need to know then what happens.
Yeah.
Because you can't, again, I think it's a silly thing to do, but you cannot blame your players to notice the bomb if you freaking introduce it. Know what you're doing. That's just storytelling tips, I think. Right? On to the next.
Yes. Why the 90s?
Why not? Why not the 90s?
Well, I can answer why I like playing in 90s, even though we actually have we have cell phones. You don't have every information at your fingertip. You don't have the internet to such a degree, and I know for myself as a GM partner, when I'm GM, it's very good to be able to isolate players in that sense, that they can just pull up their smartphone and find out everything they need to find out about something, like with one push of a button.
Yeah,
I mean,
it gives you greater authority and greater playroom to keep them in the dark, to actually make them go somewhere, actually make them work for information and stuff like that. So that
for sure.
I think the only thing that we've kind of been a little more loose on is maybe the use of cell phones.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been really boring if we were running around looking for payphones all the time.
Again,
it's not cool when it comes to communication. 90s, yeah, we had the Motorola, the break,
pagers,
the pagers.
I think pagers were more. I mean,
more
I think
than
Norway was quite early with cell phones. We never really had the pager part. We kind of skipped that.
Yeah, I remember I had one for half a year and it was completely useless.
Yeah.
But I think the 90s is really fun to play because that's when most of us were teenagers.
I know, I was a grunge kid.
Yeah.
I was such a grunge kid. So for me, it's like, damn, it's like you kind of get, isn't that when you discover music when you're like 14, 15, and then you kind of get stuck there? And I think it's like, hell, I want to play in the 90s.
Yeah. And that's also, for me, that's when I discovered Vampire.
Vampire, same.
Yeah,
and I remember I had this discussion with Katrina 1.5 years ago, more than that maybe, when we started talking about Vampire, and I wanted to get that feeling of playing Vampire for the first time, to have that
I know
that gothic punk feeling, to play these pissants who come up from the gutter and get embraced and have problems with losing their humanity, with mortality, with that
personal horror, for sure, personal horror.
And that was my meeting with Vampire. It was that personal horror. I think that got lost the more source books came into play. Of course, it gave us an enormous lore and a lot of interesting things to play with. But when you have played a 600-year-old vampire for 5 years, it's to go back to play a mundane twink can be kind of hard, because you know all the lore, you know all the cool skills, all the whatnot, and you have used disciplines up to level 10 because you could. And now we took it back. After not playing vampires for 15 years, we took it back to street level.
Basic.
Yeah. And I think well, I have that feeling like when we played Vampire for the first time.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
We only have that. We only have the main source books and maybe a few others. Yes, there is a bunch of lore, but all of that has also changed since Katrina is the storyteller. And yes, she uses the lore, but she also creates her own. And I love her lore.
It's the first rule of any role-playing game. There are no rules. So.
Fuck them and their
And also,
lore.
I think in connection with how you establish the setting first most with the Hunter campaign.
Yeah.
Hunter definitely is better suited to pre-internet, like back at least keep it to bulletin board system and like early internet, because that's
Newspaper,
so much more
personal
investigative,
ads,
for being isolated and struggling for that. So that sort of set the timeline as well for when progressing years. So I'm going to be interested to see how far we're going to skip till season 3. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we are skipping, actually.
We are skipping and jumping.
We are.
And
A little
dancing
bit.
along.
When the time comes,
I am very pleased that I don't have to relive the next day as my first session back.
Well, none of y'all. But I'm not going to let you off that easy. Well, we'll get to it when we get to it. It's still a wee bit far off into the future. All right, next.
A couple of questions from our viewer, Heidi. I can take the first one for me. What was Sean's thought process as he came to the decision to destroy his grandsire? That was actually a thought process I went through with Katrina before that scene. And in her city of Boston, blood lineage is extremely important. And this blood lineage, this gangrel lineage, was also somewhat based of a Nordic Celtic structure where honor is set quite high. So when the grandsire of Sean decided to not fess up for his crimes, not take his responsibility in the shit that went down, because Sean saw this as, yes, it was the vengeance of the Dark Duke that we came to in the end, but all of this was also brought upon the city by our grandsires, and for him to run away with the tail between his legs, Sean saw as unacceptable. That would be to take to not even to fall on your sword. It's just to run away. It's just that was weak. So it was a part of that vengeance for what happened to Dean, because that was set in motion by his grandsire such a long time ago, and also a way to preserve what was left of the bloodline.
Almost reboot the bloodline.
Yeah, to preserve the blood, to preserve the knowledge that is within the blood. So it was a lot that went through his mind.
Can I kick a question to my other two players? Do you guys agree with the decision of murdering Thomas?
As a player or as my character?
Either or, because it was a dramatic decision and it was completely in the end Ian's, and I celebrate doing dramatic things for sure.
I think, well, for Christopher's sake, is like half part of, okay, respectful pulling it off, and another part of, Christ, I'm strong with fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, be more pragmatic. Think more strategical in this. Stop dwelling about honor and look at what needs to get done and get it done. But it's definitely surprised me as a player that he jump at that, like go that far. But I can see why. I can understand it. It fits in with his bloodline, even though not necessarily fit that much in with what you think Sean as a human being would do, but it would also fit really well with his background story, that he's come to a point where someone needs to just stand up for what you did, like take responsibility. And I think that's partially, one of Chris's like convictions or something is always ride your own rap, which means not necessarily like admit what you did, but don't necessarily point it off on someone else. You got to stick up for your decision and take your punishment where it comes. So I think we would agree with him that the sire didn't deal with it. I mean, he didn't necessarily confess and throw himself on the sword and the mercy of the command body. He needed to deal with the situation, not just run away and leave everyone else to clean up his shit. So in that sense, I think he respected his decision on that. but might have scared him a bit, both for what it could cost Sean if it's discovered, and also if he got a taste for it.
I think for my part, for Marianne didn't quite understand the reasoning, but I think because I thought it was so rash, I thought it was so fast. We didn't actually get to see a lot of there wasn't, before this happened, there was like literally no interaction with his grandsire in play. So I think I personally would have enjoyed seeing a little bit more of that kind of the build up before it just happened, because I felt there was a huge disconnect. But as long as it makes sense for you as a player, who am I to say what's right or wrong? Like I did a lot of stupid shit that probably was insane for other people as well. So it's just when you're living in the moment of scenes, it's just you do what you feel is the right thing.
Yeah.
I think for Shiv, Sean was never. Sean was. He was. For me, from my point of view, Sean, and for Shiv, he was the heart. Like, because he was kind of always he had his background and it always affected stuff, but he was always like the one that saw good in people, where Chris and Shiv was a little bit like black or white. Yeah. So I think Shiv didn't quite understand it either. But then again, Shiv and Chris was not part of that journey at all, because of the way that the first episodes were. Like, we were quite disconnected from each other, and we were handling, like, the characters were handling their own shit, their own personal shit, in different ways that evolved them into this world. So again, it made sense for Sean there and then, but from outside it might be strange.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. But just one question for Marianne. When Shiv was told that her grandsire was leaving, did she, like, just wondering if you managed to convince her to stay, did she get a bit of a more sense, sympathy for the position that Sean found himself when the same thing?
I think Shiv would have done. She would have advised if Shiv was in Sean's shoes, she would have tried to convince him to stay and fess up instead of going. And if that was not the case, then I think in Shiv's mind, she's a user. Like, she uses people for information. So just killing someone clean off is a very huge step to go to. I say now, yeah, okay, never mind. But sorry, it was just the future coming in. So I think Shiv would have kind of seen leaving him off as a potential that could have been used. Yeah. You can't go around saying, I killed him, he's dead, because then you die. So there was like, the leverage is gone. The moment he was killed, the leverage of any information, good or bad, and how he could use it was gone. So removing that chess piece wasn't what she would have advised him to do.
Interesting. It's always cool to get different perspectives on tough decisions in games.
Yeah.
All right, next, before we have a little break.
Oh, I'll just mute myself and just look into the camera.
And...
next one is for Tarjei.
Mm-hmm.
It's been mentioned that you have a strategy for Christopher. Do you anticipate Chris keeping up with his human family duties as much as his princely ones, now that he's rising in the ranks of both?
He definitely wants to try. I mean, he when it comes to his family duties, he both has his personal investment of trying to find out exactly what happened to his father, which would be easier now that he's a vampire, but also it's a source of power as a vampire as well, because not only is it influence you can use in the city, like chess pieces you can move against opponents and stuff like that, but also would provide him with potential for recruiting ghouls for like muscle, or even maybe talented ones for vampire as the sire at one point, for that matter. So it gives them, and it would have a loyalty to him, which is not connected to the vampiric side. Like it's bound by blood in a completely different way, to put it like that. But I think it's going to cost him. I think he's going to have a problem. It's going to be like he's going to be doing a lot. It's going to cost him. It's going to prioritizing one for helping him is going to end up detrimenting the other at one point. He's probably got to make choices. So you got to definitely find a way to find proxies in a way. Maybe he's got to try to make his useless but lovable little cousin a tad more efficient by somewhere like that. So he's definitely going to try.
Efficient? That was two words I did not like.
Yeah, we're gonna need some strict training. It's gonna be difficult, but he definitely wants to try because, like I said, when it comes to this little thing of his, this family ties, that is something that is loyalty and connected to him and him alone as a person, not as a vampire, not for any clan decision, not for any like just friendship. And as long as he can be beneficial to them, as long as he can make them profit, they will have his back and support him. Which of course is the problem, because if he can't be an earner, he won't be useful. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, but he's definitely going to try. And also because that after his real family, human family, has become noticeably smaller.
Yeah,
his
also
uncle and his cousin
became his child.
Yeah,
It's not messed up at all.
his uncle and his cousin is sort of his. Someone becomes rapidly one of the last connections to humanity, to his human family that he has. So he's gonna probably be worried about them as well in the future.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know where we left that little situation,
I'm
do
sure
we?
I'm the storyteller with plenty of opportunities to keep psychologically maiming Chris as
You think?
next season unfolds.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Oh, but it's fun. It's always fun. And it's always fun to make choices that gives most, let you play in most, and gives the most narrative sense, because that gives you more to play on.
I think
it's boring
there's
if
a
you
lot
win all. It's boring if you win all. If you keep winning everything, if you all win all the battles and win all the little.
I think there's been a lot of situations where all of us have made decisions that if we had like more than 5 minutes to think, maybe would have like, it was like, okay, my character is smarter than this. Let's roll an in check just to see like, can this character now take the more interesting route, even though it might not be as smart.
My character is not as smart as that. He's not. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
I know. This season 2 was high-paced craziness. For me, maybe that's just the storyteller's like my insane brain, where this makes perfect sense. But I wanted it to be intense because it's the first period of you becoming the beast, the vampire. Again, I wanted to have pressure on you guys, so it would feel more stressful. And that everything felt...
It was certainly stressful.
Yeah, and everything felt big and important. And I also wanted you a part of the city, of the main story arc as I created it. That you would be important, that you would have a say-so. And also to see then how these young fledglings of vampires now are moving through the society. And are not just these, again, pissants that nobody really gives a shit about. I think it's more interesting for me. It's more interesting. I wanted to see what happened.
And then again, I think that is one part where the high pace, where I think unfolding so quick, actually benefited younger ones who were able to react
old
faster.
Ones can't keep up.
Yeah, that's sort of played a large part of them actually being able to exploit the opportunities and situation arose to position themselves where they did.
I mean, I'm still there that I think from where we started and where we ended, like I still think it's really natural for both Chris and Sean to have that strong political role. I am still unsure about Shiv. Shiv would probably like before season 1, she would have been maybe one of the more natural leader type-ish, just because of her background. But just the road that's taken her through these hoops, I'm not sure. So I'm looking forward to seeing again what season 3 will entail for all of them. I think it's pretty clear what these two guys are going to do.
But I do love it. I love that it's not clear and known. I like this. At least as a storyteller, I like the sense of the unknown and the danger of not knowing what your characters are gonna do. I love it because it forces me to be massively creative when it comes to figuring out possible scenarios, possible outcomes, and it's like moving pieces on a board. And most times, players do something I haven't even thought about.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, I mean, you already mentioned how Marianne or Shiv's decision to make Diana stay completely changed anything. Did you have any other like what they're doing, what moments like so that's completely through you?
Oh gosh, I'm sure there were several. I think, but that was a very emotional scene where I was. Oh, there's several. I'm getting many now, but the first one that comes to mind is when Sean and Chris almost, it came to a very dangerous blow.
Yeah, after the
yeah.
Angela,
then I was
that was
then then I was like, oh my god. Oh my god!
Yeah, that was my favorite scene of the season.
No, I was like, then I was thinking, shit.
Brilliant.
And I cannot interfere.
Can't all be roses and
no, and I enjoy it, but I was like, it just went like you felt like even through the screen how we're playing, I could taste the tension, and I was like, shit. I have no way of knowing what the hell is going to happen now, because it was just like, gush, it's on time. So that was massively surprising. I didn't see it coming at all. I would also say I thought it was interesting to see how in the last episode both Shiv and Chris again dealt with their very intense scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I necessarily was shocked that Shiv decided to sacrifice.
Oh, you knew I was going to do that, like before I did.
But for me, it's more or less. It's like it's eating popcorn in my god complex and thinking, what will my pretties do if I throw this in the mix? Mm-hmm. And with Chris, it was like, what will he do?
Yeah, do you think it would show? Do you have any? Did you have?
I thought you would.
Were it even odds, 33% on each, or did you think someone had bigger chances of getting it all alive?
I thought his mom was going to survive for sure. I was like, he's Italian mama's boy, and he's like, nah, fuck her. We're done with that.
Of course he tried to. It's great. Of course he tried to get more out of the situation that he possibly could. Like he gambled on pulling off for everyone and. Yeah, no, but I also think that's going to be great to play on his guilt.
It's going to be beautiful. Italian mama's boy guilt? Oh my gosh. It's going to become a flagellant.
Because he also had that. And also, like, how subconscious was that? Because we touched about it early in the play as well, that his relationship with his mother wasn't being the best one. I mean, it wasn't full-on Sopranos with Tony, but it was definitely like...
Well, you didn't want to eat her, at least.
No. So it's gonna be like, did I really wish her dead? So I think he's gonna be.
But again,
we're gonna need to get ourselves. He's gonna need a shrink. He's gonna need to get a hold of a psychiatrist.
But I think there've been so many. I had so many moments where I was like, oh, we're doing this now. So I'm sure when we're done with this, I'm gonna remember 10 more.
Yeah, but I think you have
Yeah.
covered important ones, good ones.
Then
It's back to you.
Can I write up a question, Ariane, for you to ask later on?
Of course.
Any regrets, and what will you do to change? Like, what would you change? And that would be for everyone. But we can do that in the end.
Oh,
We can do that in the
Yeah,
end.
in the end.
Let's do that in the end. Let's do that in the end.
First, Heidi has a question for Mariana. First, congratulations on the baby.
Thank you.
Aw.
Shiv had a pretty intense story arc. Was there ever a time when she lost hope of getting Aiden back?
Ooh, yes and no. I think Marianne more so maybe than Shiv, but I think in the beginning I think Shiv was very much in denial of what she was actually seeing. Like, I think then the powers and getting used to that, on top of the grief, it was just a lot of emotions, and I think she was very unsure of what was really there and what wasn't. So in the beginning, I wasn't actually playing on getting him back. I thought he was gone. Like Marianne thought he was gone as well. And it was when the proper clues and when you started to understand what was going on with Trixie and her role and kind of the duality of what was actually there. I think that's when her hopes were
Sparked.
Yeah, sparked, and I definitely she was definitely sure that Rose, Aiden, Trixie, Goddess, everyone else was going to die in that hole. Like, that was for sure. Like, again, Dice Gods, yeah. So I think there was multiple times actually in the end, the last episodes, where she was
Now it's going
like,
to
this
hell.
is not going to happen, no. And then there was like a little hope, with the whole certain Tremere that could help, Marshall that didn't want to help. It was just so many twists and loops, and I think in the end she did not think that would happen at all. I think for that whole kind of, I've tried to write out the emotions and thoughts of Shiv in the art diary kind of things, just to give a little, because you don't have time. You don't have time to actually, and I think that's a way for me also to give my character a little bit more room to express herself and have these stories, because Shiv's journey is just it's an emotional one. It's not a political one. It's just a raw emotional one.
Yeah,
and that's difficult, I think, in this fast-paced environment to get out. So I tried to drip a little into those pieces,
and they were absolutely
just to tell her side of that. Yeah. So if you follow those, you've seen the journey she's been on emotional, I think. I hope.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good.
Yeah, you need to follow our Instagram, because there is a shit ton of
we got content.
Yeah.
we got the content. Go get
it. I got just one quick question for Marianne and Shiv. You really sure you want Aiden back? He's such a dick.
Well, girls love a bad guy.
So the only question is who's gonna end up, if he comes back, who's gonna kill him? You or Sean?
I mean, this is the future, right?
Well, I haven't tasted.
She's gonna put a ring on it.
Before. Goes well with a Chianti, I think.
And some Cava.
No, I think Marianne wants Aiden back because he's an interesting character. I thought it brought up sides to Shiv that none of the other two are able to. I'm not saying that there won't be characters of that type in season 3, 4, 5, however long we're going to do this. And he also, it was good with someone that sparked annoyance in all of them for different reasons. Like, it gave a lot of room, like, play-wise. I thought it was just really interesting. Shiv obviously wants him back because she loves him. Don't know why. It was such a fast love story, so...
Well, that's
fast and intense.
That's a classical story arc of, also in the old system, the true love.
Yeah.
Which is instant and absolute. And that's how I played on it, because that's how I remember it from the original. And especially with the Clan of the Torador, where it is, if you feel it, you do it, you go for it. And it's consuming.
I mean, Shiv definitely has beef with him. Like, it's not going to be a happy... Well, let's just say I don't still think Shiv necessarily wants to be in this part of the world. And someone did that to her for some... Around. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff happening before.
I'm curious about something.
If she gets him back, he's still not back, so it's we don't know.
Yeah, because I'm like, it's interesting to me to think now, because we're gonna have some downtime, obviously. Let's everybody have some time to think of what they would do in a downtime period for season 3. I see her in a very tight relationship with Mr. Hashimoto.
Yeah. I do that as well, definitely, and not necessarily just on a good way.
No, I think she is in. She might be in a little dark magic rabbit hole with the Mr. Hashimoto.
I think there's going to be a lot of experimenting and pleading and dealing.
I think we will find her as a very
down.
I think we would find us a very different Torador after a couple of years in power.
I'm gonna have to put
maybe
Hashimoto
still the same obsession. That might still be there, but
I'm not seeing that going away.
Obsessions have very different shades. Like it can go any direction, which is going to be
and I can tell you guys,
fun.
Viewers, there will, when the time approaches for season 3, we will release smaller segments with each individual character, where you will get tidbits of the downtime, like flashes of what they've done. So we'll have small sessions where you will have given scenes that will have significance for season 3. Just
look forward to recording that.
It's gonna be something.
Yeah.
I have evil plans.
I have good plans.
I have ominous
plans.
Yeah, no, because there's something that's called ghouls and velvet rope, and I still don't know what to do with. I have thoughts.
Let's just say, for whatever evil, cynical, exploitative bastard Chris is gonna end up be, he's still not the one who's ending up committing human sacrifices. That's all I'm gonna say.
Someone's calling it. Human.
Diablerie is one thing, but human sacrifice is something. That's evil.
I mean, Easter pain a little, I hope.
Well,
even though I misspoke, and that is going to haunt me forever. I'm so happy you just like, wait a minute, what did you say? And I'm very happy that you gave me like the take back. Because that would have been terrible.
Well, then I'm going to throw what I did with Oyan. I'm going to throw this question to Taya and Oyan. Would you guys have done the same thing in your position? What do you agree with Shiv's decision of sacrificing Teresa?
I don't think I would be able to do it. I'm getting too soft-hearted in my old age. I think that would have been. I think that would have probably been one step. Like another vampire, yes. But then again, Chris' relationship with his ghouls, property, like his relationship with the special probably colored too much of the the emotional investment in the person. That it's hard for me to disassociate
Yeah,
that
well,
sort of intense level of feeling.
Because he's now down, like he has now emotional connections to her that isn't just you're a ghoul and you're nice and stuff. It has transcended.
Of course, I
into
mean, he
something.
did certainly. I mean, in one way, he didn't like not that bad, but he didn't choose Fairchild, did he? He let Amber go because the thought of her being killed. Not that he likes the kid now because he was sort of responsible for her surviving by saving her life. But I think that was really, really just okay. If Amber is killed in my apartment, like in my place, with me as an accident, I'm fairly certain that those hunters gonna rip my
Chris
fucking heart
thinking
and
of
burn
Chris.
yeah.
We'll get a T-shirt made.
The Chris way.
Yeah, so what would Chris do?
Yeah.
Think of Chris.
Me, myself, and
Chris for president. Yeah, all right.
And you said the same, right? I'm sorry.
I
didn't.
don't think Sean would have managed to do that eyes open. I think he would have let that Aiden character go, and he would have hated himself for it.
Character go.
No, but Sean wouldn't have had an Aiden. He would have had a Adina. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't see,
and he would have hated
Sean sacrificing Angela for example for that. I mean, you saw how out of
no, but Angela is his Aiden, even though it's not. Yeah. It's something else.
Yeah, but it's a person that he cares of and wants to protect. So, but again, it's very easy to sit on the other side of the dices and say, "Oh, I would never." But when you're in the thick of it, who knows? Who knows what you would have done?
And it's probably like the most. I'm not sure I got a.
I will miss
with the
Teresa.
storyteller about a little choice that Chris had to make, but I think forcing Shiv to go down that route is probably the most evilest thing our storyteller has done so far.
I don't think anything that Chris would have said in the phone call would have changed her mind.
No, but I think
certainly what you said was just like, yeah, okay.
But I suspect that's why she called Chris as well, because she sort of half expected what he would.
I mean, she didn't
call
Sean.
Sean would definitely no,
hell no.
But like Chris only, but just remember you gotta live with it. Like if you're willing to pay the price, go ahead with it. But you gotta live with the price you pay.
But did she actually tell Chris so she was?
No, he didn't actually tell what she was gonna do.
No, the two others actually know.
No, but like let's just put it this way: if like. After a couple of weeks or months, Chris will probably notice that, well, Teresa isn't around anymore. And he'll think about the phone call, think about what he knew you had to pay a price. And I think it's going to be able to put 2 and 2 together and get 4, even though he got a D in math.
I mean, I don't think any of our characters has been very forthcoming to each other this season. Whereas in season 1, we were pretty telling everyone and checking in and is this the right decision and is this not. And this one, everyone has kind of kept
gone to a dark side.
Yeah, and kept it intact and maybe talked around it, but never revealing what the true purpose of what they're talking about is. It's been very.
That's actually quite good, being not at all planned.
Yeah, it's insightful, but that's what I think it's just the benefit of what we did. That we did play humans, and also and the friendships and the relationships,
and then of course the sort of the fact that they are different, had different styles, had different clans, also put this sort of barrier. But how far can we kind of trust them? Will their loyalty be to me as a friend? Will they be affected by the blood, by clan expectations, by clan politics? Can I allow myself to trust these two as much as I did? Can I still put my life in their hands and
the blood is
know
so
that they will?
I think that's beautifully interesting, and because in the end of the day, these 3 characters' story that we are telling and viewing and experiencing, and now their relationship has developed into something else, and that's such a good observation. I haven't even thought about that because I knew there would be the vampire self, the beast. There would be clan. There would be the world's expectations. There would be individual wants and needs. within the story arc, but also that you were more secretive towards one another was surprising when I think of it, actually. That
Yeah, I think for my own part, it's like sort of like the paranoia of Chris, just increasing trust issues, like being worried, like because he's got this mind for seeing how he can play all anything else. He's also acutely aware how he can get played. He's taking things for granted.
And Shiv knows the boys hate Aiden, so
Yeah.
Yeah, and she
just
doesn't
felt
want
alone.
she doesn't want her obsession challenged.
no. She's quite comfortable living in that little bubble, even though she don't admit it to herself, I think. Well, maybe she did after the last episode.
In many ways, this is the Empire Strikes Back season.
Switching over to Star Wars and comparison to that. Sure, I'll take it.
No, everything went to hell. It's dark, it's evil, it's yeah, but there is a new hope.
There's hope.
No.
There is hope.
What are a sudden
For
feeling
who?
that Chris is? What are a
Sure,
sudden feeling
at
that
least.
Chris is cast as Lando?
No, Lando is too good. Sorry.
Ah.
I arrived just before you did.
All right.
Yes. Finally, Katrina. The sheriff appears to have framed Dean, and that maybe Aiden was involved. Will we find out what leverage the sheriff had over them in the future seasons, or can you shed some light now?
I can shed a little bit of light. Not all.
Yeah, because you've said a lot in game, I think.
I've said a lot in game. Basically, what the characters know, and especially Shiv knows this, is that she was threatened directly by the sheriff. The life of Shiv was to be forfeited if Aiden didn't comply.
She was to be snuffed.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I mean, Chris did give the videotape of the incident to Sean, but I think Sean has seen it like in play yet.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Which
So we still don't know
video
exactly.
tape? Sorry, there's
Well,
so
that was the
much that's happened.
the surveillance tape of the attack on the the
Halfway house.
halfway house.
What was
Like
on the
it doesn't
tape
really
again?
say anything other than that portrays Dean doing it, but
That was
you never
Dean
did watch it.
Dean going bananas, killing a lot of people.
Breaking the Masquerade, essentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was on what was.
So he had Shiv over. He could hold Shiv over Aiden. So that's how he got him to play along.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the end of it and all of it. I'm just saying that's what you know.
Oh no! I mean, it's certainly not the end of it. We know that much from your little behind-the-scenes scenes. All of the characters don't know, the players know. So I was thinking about, okay, now I gotta kill Queen of Bones as well. Damn, it's gonna be a lot of vampires I have to kill.
Well,
Keep
you can
expanding.
just
Yeah.
add it to your little letter and just
Wait a
send
minute!
it
If I'm the
to
only vampire in Boston, things can't go wrong.
Oh shit! What are you going to do now that Cal is not this powerful hunter? Because he was probably the one that would do your dirty work for you, right?
Yeah, I'm sure we can get Kitty Cat. Give her some names.
She's too nice.
She's too nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she knows two other hunters. We know there are two more somewhere in the city.
Yeah,
We just need to find them.
Yeah,
I'm just guessing we're gonna use Amber.
Yeah, you gotta use someone because you lost Cal.
Yep, you have to use Amber. I think Amber's gonna be there.
Taya, you lost yourself again.
She's already one step blood-boned toward him. I'm sure we can.
He's like scheming.
I mean, it never goes wrong when Chris tries to use anyone, does it? I mean,
No,
it's
it
not
goes
like it's not like he backfires at him and it's sort of potential moment.
Never.
And then from our viewer Kim, Sean, not a question, but please have a Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. This
I agree.
is actually the game imitating life. When I was working as a chef, I would get not just cranky, but
Hungry.
hangry. Yeah, I get angry when when my blood sugar is low, and since I have diabetes, that's yeah.
But I mean that
Yeah.
generation. But just
Yeah.
blood potency isn't too strong that Sean can still feed on animals, can't he?
Yeah.
You just
You
keep
can.
a guinea pig on your in your inside coat pocket to.
Oh my
A
god!
bunny.
Just
Well, there are,
I mean that.
there was a thing in Hamburg for the punks to have rats on their inside their jackets.
I just saw just a Suicide Squad yesterday, so the rats were all over that movie. So they can be very cute. So don't kill
They
them
can
all.
be. Yeah.
Cute.
I mean,
But I mean,
Steve
come
the
on.
rat was very cute as well.
But come on, I mean, guinea pigs. They're like they are originally used as emergency meat rations in the Andes anyway. That's what their purpose was. They were transportable
Yeah, but
lunch.
at least a bunny. A
Yeah,
guinea
you
pig,
probably
that's
need something
like
bigger.
a shot. That's like taking a vitamin, not even vitamin shot.
You see
when
Sean opening a bag, just taking mice after mice.
Yes, this is my emergency donkey.
Oh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Emotional
I'm
support
dying.
animal.
You
Yeah.
gotta have it.
No, it's not
the thing.
emotional support animal. It's food support animal.
Food support animal.
Yes.
Food supply.
Food supply. It's a lunchbox
It's
with
a snack
legs
bag.
and a pulse.
Mm.
It's amazing.
More
Yeah?
questions from Kim?
Yes, favorite Vampire the Masquerade like movie or TV show?
Only lovers left alive.
Oh, I love.
That needs to be there. So
Only Lovers Left Alive is so Vampire the Masquerade. Really,
Yeah.
it is. Oh, that's beautiful.
I actually started watching the old Vampire the Masquerade TV series from the 90s.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
funny. That is so funny.
Yeah, it's not actually as bad as I thought it was. It's really the
It's not-
90s, and it's not.
It's very the 90s. It's
yeah.
what we're playing, so it's.
Well,
You all
well,
should watch it.
but Katrina, your favorite one is the Swedish one. I can never remember what it's called.
No,
let-
the rat to
let-
come in.
Let the
Let the right
come in.
one in.
I think it's
Oh, it's
it is
gorgeous.
breathtakingly gorgeous, and as I've read the book.
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah, I've read the book. I've seen both of the
Yes.
movies, and I saw the play when it was put up in Stavanger, and I'm obsessed with it.
Oh, the
I also-
cinematography in the Swedish one.
Oh, it's beautiful, so beautiful.
Yes.
For the classics, of course, it's gotta be the Lost Boys. That's a Bruja crew. The Lost Boys, Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes.
Yum yum yum, give me some. Hell yeah, sign me up. Fangirl.
Plus, you got the wonderful quote from the film, which sort of opens up for a whole World of Darkness thing. I thought it might be none of them werewolves we've been having around. So we know they're more than just vampires, though.
Yeah.
That's me.
Roman
anybody else?
Polanski.
Ah,
Um,
Fellas, vampires
this,
kill us.
this is like what I remember most of it, and it just like makes me laugh every time. Yeah,
Yeah, the ball dance scene
yeah,
in the mirror.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
Yeah,
good.
that one.
That is so good.
And also like when they're trying to like hint that there is vampires behind them, and yeah, it's just so silly. It's just
Okay,
it's
name
so
so many.
simple.
What we
the
do in the
gothic
shadows?
punk- Yeah. But
Come
for the
on.
gothic punk style, also The Crow.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that much vampire, but the whole.
Oh,
punk
The-
scene
the-
is,
the aesthetic, yeah,
aesthetic,
for
yeah,
sure,
the
for
music.
sure. But then I'm gonna stretch out and say the first Blade.
I mean, it's entertaining for sure, and it's like it's so over the top, but
I
it
haven't
still
seen
has
that for 20
a lot
years,
of
I think.
no. I think all of those kind of the films that were coming out, so that and the one with Kate Beckinsale that I can never Underworld. Like I didn't
Underworld
I like
is it's World of Darkness. Come
it
on.
is
Yeah, just
because
not.
it's cheesy enough, but I think. I mean,
was gonna say-
it's certainly back then I loved those.
I mean, not that much, like, not strictly Vampire the Masquerade in one sense, but it really does sort of portray, like, the Macintosh, the political manipulation, the sort of hidden manipulation by the, especially by the Ventrue or the Camarilla. In the short-lived English series Ultraviolet.
Oh
How
yeah,
they're
yeah,
how they're recruiting
yeah.
scientists. They're like trying people are like
Yes.
bribing them with stuff and trying to make synthetic blood to make humans obsolete.
For sure.
That
That's
sort of
also
have
a
the
series
sort of
you
have the
should
sort of
watch
in the shadows behind the manipulating bit of it from.
Okay, can I add? Can I favorite vampire any type depicted in a series or a movie? Actor or character.
I'm going back to
vampire?
either Tilda. I mean, you can probably go with Dracula and Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman!
Like
Gary Oldman.
numero uno, of course.
Give him to me.
Spike.
Spike. Yeah, Spike.
He had a character arch.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But Gary Oldman.
But now I want to say the horrible. Oh Jesus, what's her name? She was Harmony. Is that what she was?
Harmony. Oh yeah, she was so great. Some white. Actually, I'm gonna go for like favorite vampire and Gary Oldman of course gets right up there, but also I love John Malkovich as Nosferatu, as Friedrich Wilhelm Mörder in Shadow of the Vampire, where like behind the scenes filming of Nosferatu, where he actually is a vampire. That is a lovely film as well. That is really great.
Did Willem Dafoe also depict?
Yeah, he was. Willem Dafoe was Marshak. Yeah, so I mean Marshak. Yeah. Willem Dafoe was Marshak. That's the vampire. I mean, yeah. That he's like.
There is
Willem
so
Dafoe's
many
vampire, that is
good
great.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
but
and I mean,
I
still need to throw like True Blood still has a lot of things that I found really, really like. Yeah. It's a summer show for me, so it's I don't know. It was just something. When they came out,
but the non-vampire characters were better. I mean, the idiot brother of Suki, he was just fantastic. Yes. He was so great in that. The guy who plays him he's just amazing in that.
I'm gonna now say my claim to fame because I've met Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh,
that was at a boxing
UFC,
VMA,
UFC fight, and. Damn, yeah.
Glass of milk, I don't know.
Yo, hell yeah, that's a lot of Swedish goodiness right there. And I was just, because I was looking at him, like, I know that guy. But he was tan. So that kind of freaked me out, because I was used to True Blood, where he's like really pasty white. And I'm like, that's like that surfer-looking Swedish hot piece of ass. Who is he? And he's like, oh, that's Alexander Skarsgård. I'm like, hold my drink.
I liked
was he that big in that at that time?
No,
Evan Rachel Woods. She was good in that. Her vampire characters I liked in that show.
And also, what's it called? Like for a really bestial, non-human vampire. Oh shit! In 30 Days a Night, the big bad guy. He has also plays the bad guy in The Proposition. What's
he called? I know him.
It's
so good. Danny Houston.
Yeah.
He's terrifying in that.
I think to answer Kim's questions, there is a lot.
And we like this for hours. You could do this for hours. You don't know what you started. Like this is going down the
maybe some of the best vampire movies. Like series are probably the ones that might not remind that much of Vampire the Masquerade.
No.
Because like so, but in that sense, but elements of it.
Yeah. Cool. Do we have any better?
No, then we have the two lasts are best and favorite moment and any regrets.
Oh, that's gonna be a lot. Anybody want to jump the gun on this one?
I want to go first.
Yeah,
I really do. No. that scene with Sean and Chris after the Angela incident. That was so that was hard to play. That whole that was actually quite painful to play. But I love that scene. It's full of just anger and raw emotions, and Sean at that point really felt abandoned by everything. But it's also the turning point of that's the lowest point Sean has been. Even after diabolizing his grandsire, the attack on Angela in a feeding frenzy, that was rock bottom. Absolutely. Hard scene. Love the scene. It was hard to sit and edit that scene afterwards.
For sure, get that.
Yeah, but my favorite scene, absolutely.
Of yourself.
Of myself. I think that my favorite Shiv scene is when she has her ghoul in front of her and manipulates her to not feel anything. That is that's
Dirty.
beautiful. That's dirty. It's
So bad. On
It's
so
so
many
bad.
levels.
on so many levels, but it's there is so much hopelessness, and yet so much hope in that scene. Yeah, and also that to take a life like that is ice cold. It's so cold.
Not where I expected Shiv to end season 3.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
And Chris with the 3 women at the end also. That's where everything just builds up to that scene, and he has to take that choice. Katrina, you're an evil woman.
Thank you. I try.
Evil.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but we love you, I think.
Hope so.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
You wanna go or should I go, Mariana?
You can go,
Okay,
but
well,
can we take? I'm so sorry, we're almost done, but I have something crushing on
do,
my tummy.
We'll do a quick 5 minutes because I have different scenes for different reasons, and I need to just map them out in my head because I have micro scenes where shit changed, and they're not the biggest bangs; they're the sweetest whispers. So
Nice.
a quick little break. Right back.
Yes.
All right, welcome back. We are in the room, and we left off. I think was it the Taya or Mariana that's gonna?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
I said I should go
Mariana?
first.
Night
No,
tired.
Chris, yeah, Chris Taya.
Okay, it's gonna be tough. I mean, for interesting purposes, I'm gonna try to choose different scenes than undead, just so we get spread some more out. But I completely agree with his picks as well. But for Örjan, well, the one that's really surprised me, like what the fuck moment, was when he diabolized his Sarah, like because I also knew the price of that. I also knew that the GM would not pull any punches there. If he failed those rolls, he would fail those rolls, and we would have to play the rest of them with Thomas instead. But so yeah, I think I'm gonna go for either that or when he loses it and almost kills Angela.
You're not
Or
allowed
maybe
to
like
say
the-
two.
maybe like-
Now
okay,
you
okay,
just
then I'm gonna
took
pick-
mine.
Okay, no, but I'm gonna stick with the one surprising me with the vampire when the Diablo-esque, because that was like, what is he really doing this? Oh,
It's also a
gonna be
very
this is gonna cause so many problems. This is gonna
not
cause so many
early on
problems
thing to
for
do.
Chris. This is gonna cause so many troubles for Chris. And
it
for
though?
Marianne, okay, well, we had the like I said, that was just like so hard actually to watch. But I think I'm gonna go with
I'm glad.
the cat and mouse verbal game she played with the sheriff, but by playing for time and playing him, because
Yeah.
kept like saying the right thing, kept edging him on, like creating doubt, really like turning what should be his forte on the tables on him there, because not also because you knew how much was on stake if we didn't get to in time, if she didn't manage to pull that time, that would be one less Toreador in the world. And I really loved the way Marianne played there, and that was really it was nerve-wracking and interesting at the same time, like really interesting. Of course, that man is fun, the big one, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with those two for them. And for Chris, of course, like I said, the final was pretty. We'll save that for regrets later. I don't know. I think it's hard to choose between two. Like, one is quite a small part in one sense, but brought a lot of unprepared. Like, I didn't see it coming. I did see it coming, but I didn't see it coming before the season. That was something I wanted to play on, which is when he is on the phone with. I think he's on the phone with you, Shiv, isn't he? Talking to you. He's just gonna pop by right home, or is it with Sean? I don't quite remember. He's on the phone with one of them, and Miss Fairchild stands in the door like there's
I think you're on the phone with me.
Because you were
before
like
each of those scenes.
because you got now I remember because it's you had gotten the invitation to the House of the Dark Throne, and like, what should I do? I'm like, I'll call you back. I think
I have more important shit to do.
Like those sort of small bits, like as well as when Vinny became a touchstone. That was fun to play because it's not unsurprising.
Vinny's a funny
yeah.
character.
So yeah, one of those. Of course, I did love when he got his little assassin spree on. That was fun as well. But I think it's gonna go with the Miss Masters because that ended up giving so much more to play on as well. So much set up the whole ending as well, season ending, and gonna be giving him so much grief in the next season, I'm sure.
It's a beautiful arc.
Yeah.
I think I remember Katrina saying in one of our conversations early in the season that I'm going to give Tarja something and something emotional, and then we're gonna fuck him up.
Yeah, I think she said that when Taya wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because I remember that as well.
And it's fun because it's sort of like it's fun to play on the emotional side of a character who's completely built its life around not feeling anything, but suppressing them and not acting on them.
Not dealing with it.
Yeah, dealing with it, but I can't allow myself to feel because that's going to be weakness. I need to do the smart choice, not the choice I want. So it's fun when that sort of self-control shatters.
Yeah.
And you, Marianne?
For me, I think Sean's was the scene with Angela, but since you kind of already took that, I will have to. Then I actually think it will be one of the conversations that Shiv had with him, actually after the whole brawly situation between the two of you, because Sean hadn't really revealed anything emotional up until then, and they didn't really understand or know that he was in kind of the deep end, and I think that's when we kind of got that emotional side of Sean, which I think was really like he accepted weakness, like his weakness, and he wanted to do something about it. Then now I could have probably picked the scene with Kitty Cat and him as well, but still, yeah, I think that one.
And not only the least that you probably saved the day there as well. I mean, I'm sure the GM storyteller breathed a sigh of relief when Shiv stepped in between and pulled the two.
No, but I
fighters
think
apart.
those two have had those moments before.
Yeah.
As humans, and I think it would be a natural thing for Shiv to go in between those two, because they are absolutely not the same at all. They are quite opposite, and I think they would have come to blows during their adolescence.
I mean, I think that's why she was like in the beginning, she's like that just let them brawl it out, because they need to get it out of their system in order to move forward. It just took a very violent turn, or more violent turn than I think was comfortable.
Yeah, it's like it's different now that they're no longer humans. The beast is always there as well.
Yeah.
So like
And they can actually do some damage now. Like
Yeah.
before, it was like, yeah, you punch him. Oh no. I think, yeah, Shiv was at least more brawly than Chris had before.
Yeah, but Sean at that point just wanted to show dominance. He would just wanted to show, I am stronger than you. I can if I want to, because it is a dog. It's a dog.
No.
A dog or wolf way of resolving things like that. He wanted to show that he was the boss of me, and I wanted to show the opposite. And he did that in a way a wolf or a dog would. By putting a belly up.
Yeah. Expose his belly.
Yes.
I think for scenes with the Utai, I think it's either the feeding scene with the child.
Oh yeah.
Or, and I know I'm not allowed to say or, but I'm going to say or the scene at the bar, the club with Jade and Shiv. And that's for the
completely forgotten the Jade.
And also obviously the vomiting scene. That's also like a little trip down memory lane.
that whole date scene was one of the more fun.
It was such a clusterfuck, which really cool.
Because that was like that was extremely. That was just pure fun to play. Like it was just common gold.
We didn't have that many like fun things, but that was definitely one of those.
And he being so pleased with himself by diffusing the situation, by like letting her down by seeing why he's in the wrong chase, and then completely not thinking what would have happened. Like such a blindside for him not to think of the fact that his face can be plastered all over newspapers, that he's engaged to be married. Like not even contemplating why that would have any sort of impact on this at all. It still doesn't.
Nope. Shiv was trying to get you to do the right thing, and you just nope. He
didn't want to do the right thing. Let her down gently.
What will happen with the marriage?
We'll see. But Shiv, your favorite for her?
It was actually the same scene as Taya picked, like the one with the sheriff. But I think that's because coming into that, I was so nervous because Shiv is so much more intelligent than Marianne is. And I had no clue where I was going to take it. I had no clue, like, what angle she was going to go with. Was she going to try and push him? Was she going to be emotional? Like, what was... I didn't know going in. So everything was just... Yeah.
It's so funny you're saying that, because you kept saying the right things at every moment.
Yeah, but I never know. Like in the scenes, I feel like I'm never saying I'm always like, I can never remember what I said. I can never remember how I reacted afterwards. I don't know why. It's just like blackout after our session sometimes. And so I have to see it again to actually say, oh, I actually did something clever. Cool. So it's like a surprise to me every time. And it's so seeing that back, I was like, oh yeah, well done, Marianne. You actually managed to do something good. I don't know. And also because it wasn't I've had so many emotional scenes. I've had so much crying. Jesus Christ, like fucking hormonal beast. So that was kind of a different side that I hadn't seen in Shiv in such a long time. So it was the more cool Shiv, the more user Shiv, the more manipulating type of character that I at least think I had more of in season 1. Like, we had a lot of those moments where she used information and threw it in people's faces and got what she wanted from it. But we haven't really seen that in season 2. So this was
it
like
came towards the
one.
end. That scene, and also at the reopening, you played him. That was a perfect setup because I sort of set it up for the opportunity to have that all.
Yeah.
Played that one right as well, like really forming a curveball, you know.
But yeah, I think there's been so many good moments for all of our characters, and
it's been
both
positive.
like
long season.
Yeah, I actually had like I was like, before coming in today to this session, I was like, do I watch the episodes? I don't have time. Or
No,
do
you don't
I?
have
So
time!
what I did was go through the Instagram post and all the brilliant text that you had like written up for the episodes, like summary. I was like, oh, that happened. Then. Oh God, I forgot about that. Oh, that happened.
It's so much, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a few.
Please.
But I have. I'm gonna give like 2 to each. And since we left off with you, Mariana, we'll start with Shiv. One of my favorite scenes with Shiv, but also was extremely
to
fun.
Put you in? Was that what you?
No, what to put you in? No, one of the scenes that for me also was super fun to play was her descent into the domain of the Queen of Bones.
Yeah.
When she meets her in her very bizarre little kingdom with baby girl. I thought that...
I was so nervous. Jesus.
Because it was just such a fun like dance of a dialogue, and it opened up to that he left something for her. And it was a fun moment for me, and it was a fun scene to play. And it was a little bit off a different side to the Boston setting as well, because she is so strange. And I thought just the dialogue and the setting and everything, the dance between them two was fun to play.
Yeah.
I think actually, because again, there's so many beautiful, tender, emotional, painful scenes with Shiv. The one scene I would pick out is when she feeds on the girl in the bedroom, and the painting that Aiden has hung over the scene. I thought was just it was a beautiful coming, like, all of understanding that now you're a vampire, now you are like him, and him not there but in the room, but not in the room.
Yeah, that was a
and
painful
I thought that
one.
was yeah, it was. It's not like it's not dramatic and anything, but it's a beautiful scene to show what she is, what she became. And he did that. He was gone, but he's still there.
Motherfucker.
So I think those two, because I could say Teresa, I could say all the beautiful scenes she had with her grand sire as well. There's so many scenes and dialogues with both of you guys, private scenes where you just have dialogue. There's so many. I could say the same thing to them. But these are the two ones I want to pick out for you. For Chris, one is when he absolutely mind fucks Nikita.
Yeah.
Because it's vulgar. It's powerful. And because she could have so destroyed him as a human if he was human. But that power she couldn't. And he then showed her what kind of beast he was. And he brutalized her mind to his own benefit.
Yeah, which he ended up paying for, though.
And also he ended up
and will be paying for, apparently.
And paying for.
I need an exorcist.
Again, those are the scenes that, like, these small scenes are interesting for me because they create more play. Because at that point, he changed Nikita's life forever. What he did in that room catapulted her to the last scene for Chris. Without that scene would never happen. So I love shit like that. And another one is the first moment I catch him showing genuine affection for Fairchild.
Yeah,
When he touches her jawline.
Yeah, that's a fun moment to play. That's the one where I decided, yeah, I'm gonna roll with this. You're gonna run with this.
And for storyteller as well, when you see it, it's like, yep, we're there, we're doing it. This is fun. We're
leaning in,
and it's just a beautiful little gesture or comment that is like, okay, the door is open. I'm like, brilliant. So again, it's not like these big explosion scenes. For Sean, it's obviously you said it, but I was like, don't say it. It's a scene with Kitty Cat.
Yeah.
Where he is down on his luck. He feels like the world has been dragged underneath, like the carpet underneath his feet has been dragged. He's fallen. He is in the pit of despair, and she comes in and they have this dialogue, which was super fun to play. And these are hard to play, but that makes them even more fun. I think that was also a very important point in his coming out of the dark tunnel. Like the pivotal moment of him, like the vengeance storyline for him, where he fell so hard, and then there's light. I can be something else. There is hope. There is a way out of the darkness. Another was when he came back and confronted Muriel and the Bob. When he had killed the grandsire. So for me, it was not the killing itself. It was when he came back to them and had to face the music. Because I was like, if he does something, I got to kill him. Because I got to kill him. Because like they don't know what the hell he did, where he lie, what this will say for them for the future in it. And those scenes are so fun because I don't know the outcome.
And I think
it's just a dance, it's a dialogue, it's like circling each other.
It was so shocking that you actually said it, because you didn't try and hide it, and that was so cool. That was so cool.
But it also it was so good to come back in the last 2 episodes and come back to the tribe to say that we have done this. Dean has been redeemed. That moment wouldn't have been that moment without that moment.
That's what I say, like there's cause and consequences. The world spins and moves and shifts and is constantly created by all the decisions of the players. And I probably said this so many times in play and the other behind the scenes. As a storyteller, you cannot be so precious about your world that you are not willing to let your player characters move pieces or kill NPCs. You gotta let them create the world with you. They will be they will trust you and they will appreciate you, and they will be precious about the world. They will be precious about their characters. They will be invested, and that's when you have them. And then you can threaten to take shit away, and
then you can
take
shit away.
Yeah, and you can take shit away.
You took Trixie from us, from everyone.
I did.
No, she hasn't been in play.
For
quite some time.
You're right.
She made you one responsible whether we're going to lose her forever or not.
I know.
Which is worse. This is arguably far worse.
Yes, it is.
But I think that is, for me, is again one of my storytelling tools, is introduce something, and if your player characters care a lot about stuff, threaten it, take it away, fuck it up, because they will care. And again,
do stupid shit.
Because I've also seen before, if you leave something in because I like it so much, at one point it becomes redundant. And why it was beautiful and magical is watered down to piss water.
Yeah.
you can't. It's like, oh no, but everybody loves this NPC. I can't do anything with it. And it's like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Fuck it up.
Yep.
Just do stuff to it.
Just
That
like
will-
Buffy's mom.
Exactly. That's such an
Summer.
yeah. So don't be afraid of
In that
of
connection, I think
doing
Amber's
things like
death
that.
was even more like just random.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
thi-
that
I-
Oh,
is-
Tara,
yeah.
I like
Tara,
completely-
Tara, yeah.
Amber Benson's the actress.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just completely random.
I think
It's-
that's what I am mostly afraid of if Aiden ever gets back. That is my worry. That's my main worry.
That's your main worry.
Bullet.
Yeah, that's my main-
worry. My main worry is what exactly is if it comes back. That's
Yep.
my main worry.
Is he a crocodile?
Could be.
Who knows when Mr. Hashimoto has done his.
At least, I've played these kinds of storylines before, and I think I know what works, and I think I know what not works, and again, it has to evolve. To where? I can't tell you quite yet, but it will go somewhere. Because again, it's like we're not playing, and so they got married and lived happily ever after, and everybody's got a Volvo station wagon, and it's well, no. We are playing in the world of goddamn darkness, and you do not get a happy ending. You do not get a forever
Sean
after.
needs a Volvo station wagon.
And
Like,
if you win, you will,
80s
you
kind
will
with the-
lose.
with
It's that
pedals?
simple.
Yep.
You cannot.
Chris.
You can. Yeah. You
Chris.
cannot win it. But yeah,
Oh.
his last scene was is a typical example of if you're gonna win something, you will lose.
I think that's where I can envision him ending up. It's very like akin to the end of the Godfather trilogy, where like essentially you have everything, but you lost everything that matters. So like,
Yeah.
was it worth it? No.
Yeah, and I think that is actually one of the things that I think will, for me, like story hooks for season 3 is when you have it, is it what you want?
So what do you think? So what are you planning for your characters in season 3? Have
I
you
don't plan
thought that
anything.
far? That's what I usually say.
I'm not a planner. I'm just a reactor.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I have
No, everybody goes quiet because they don't want to give me shit.
I'm going-
No,
I'm
because then you have so long time to find out like how can I fuck that up.
Foretold is forewarned. We can't give her anything.
Yeah.
No, I mean, Chris is gonna have a lot of details to take care of, which is probably not that directly interesting for play. As like he's got to deal with a lot of shit. The interesting is more the ramification and what he's gonna pay for, how he's gonna spread himself thin to cover stuff. I think that's gonna be the interesting bits. Not necessarily the exact details of, but it, like yeah, I gotta know. But how the fuck I'm gonna hold on to it? Just feel
Yeah.
it slipping through your hand as sand, like grabbing tide water, the tide coming and grabbing the water, and feel it all. Yeah.
Because that's something also before season 3. It's going to be a minute before we get there. I might also post on the Insta some like story lore of what happens in the downtime in the city.
Cool.
So,
Very cool.
So people that are interested to see what happens in the city, I can then see a little bit what the NPCs are doing. Of course, I will then refer to my player characters if it's in their domain or if it's something they will have something to do with, then they will give me whatever information I need to then give that description. So everybody that is interested has a little bit of understanding what happened in the time that passed.
I think Sean will be doing some vigilante.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck on pimps.
Yeah. The
Take off
dog's
fingers.
The dog is going to fuck up some pimps. Remember the dog.
The dog.
I think Shiv is going to manipulate her family to making her primogen. Because I still think that's a route that needs to be doing if she's going to be able to support Chris. At least from where we left off.
I also think for protect yourself and your investment in what she's doing with Hashimoto.
Yeah, and also just like learning more about the political aspect of that world, new and old, and maybe get some more connections. Whether that is connections in town or out of town, but I think she needs
buddies anyway.
She needs buddies. Yeah. And she needs more intel and leverage. I mean, that's what she's thriving on, so that's what she will probably at least try to do.
Yeah, because I think now she has a focus.
She needs to play the game, and she hasn't. And
that's what I think she's going to be a different beast in season 3.
I hope so. I would love to be able to get out of my little emotional spiral.
Oh yeah, well, no, don't worry. We're gonna go back there, but it's gonna be different.
Different, yeah.
It's gonna be. Oh, I love when she is like when she's like a glossy veneer, the glossy Torador. She's in control. She's been controlled for quite some time and being manipulative, finding targets, and then I'll stab you with an emotional dagger, and
of course you will. Of course you will.
No.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna do with the rest of you guys. So you know that.
I think I mentioned it
to myself. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oyan does that. I don't need to do that. He does it on his own.
It's also going to be interesting to see who the new vampires in town are going to be, because there will be a repopulation.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm.
And I need to find a target.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Yeah.
2. If you're gonna try for 2.
Go for 2.
I'm always going to try for 2. At least 2.
I mean, it worked so well for Chris when he tried to get more than one out of it.
Well, he got a wife child.
I mean, I think, I don't know if I said anything in-game, but obviously if it was hidden to anyone, shouldn't have. I mean, Leo and Ashanti was her plan until he started, Hashimoto said that they need to be of a certain, generation, they need to be blah, blah, blah. I was like... That fucked up
Chris,
all our plans.
I'm sure about this. Talk to Chris at this point in time and got that far ahead. I'm pretty sure he's got a vent through Primogen he's willing to give you for free.
Miss Savage!
Okay, Trixie as Miss Savage.
Point, let's be honest. She's a mean son and nothing more.
That also was a fun scene though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
With Miss Savage. There's so much.
She is savage.
She's
savage by name, savage by nature.
No, it's bittersweet to leave season 2. I'm grateful for the break because it will give me time to really think of how season 3 is going to unfold, because it's going to be a different beast yet again.
And it's gonna give us as players a little breather, you know.
Yeah.
Marianne does not have to be used as an emotional punching bag every time.
She's gonna have a little creature that's gonna use us as emotional.
Yeah. I'm going to have a vampire sucking the life out of me. So it's in the real world.
It's real life vampire. She's someone's gonna feed on her every day. So it's vampire. The rest of us, and yes, we are. The rest of us plus a guest player that we're going to announce today are going to attack Alien, and I get to be a player.
And don't worry at all, Katrina. I'm a professional storyteller. I won't take any form of petty revenge for 3 actually technically seasons of emotional distress. No.
I said, bring it, bitch.
Yeah, no, so it's going to be 3 leagues Alien, and I think they've done a superb job with that role-playing game to really capture the feel,
really like
the look, and the aesthetic.
I love Alien. I'm so excited. I'm going to get to play. Like, Aliens are one of my favorite movies. Ridley Scott. I worship the ground you walk upon. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too.
And
we're going to do the Chariot of the Gods.
Yeah, it's a cinematic. For those who know, Alien RPGs based you can play short cinematic adventures, which are more or less like one shots that are geared toward recreating the feel and the the atmosphere from the movies, or you can play longer campaign games. So we're gonna play the first full-length cinematic module that they put out, which is written by Andrew Gaska, and it's won awards. He's a really good writer. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I'm so excited.
I'm so afraid for you guys.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
I want emotional pain.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
And as
all sorts of pain.
third player, we're going to have an old friend of me and Tarjei. He's been writing role-playing games, among others, for Victoriana.
Yeah.
Which I illustrated for, by the way. I'm just name dropping as well. I
Yeah.
illustrated for them.
Yep.
At this moment, he is doing his doctorate in transgressive something in games, in computer games.
Yeah,
So he's a doctor geek. A lot of people know him as the Mad Mullah. Christian Bjørkelo.
Woohoo!
Really funny guy.
He loves pandas. He's weird.
He fits perfectly into this little weird group of.
He does. I've been playing role-playing games with him almost as long as I've been with Tarjei.
Yeah.
He's also a storyteller, so it will be a group of 4 storytellers.
Yeah, and like Katrina, he's as a storyteller, he's quite apt at inflicting emotional pain on his players.
Yes. So that's
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I am excited. So I would like to extend some love to Marianne. I'm gonna miss you so
Like I'm
much.
dying.
Yes, it
It's
is.
not fair. I get to be the storyteller, but I don't get to have Marianne as a player. It's not fair.
Oh,
Aww.
I know, but she will be back when her little fledgling, her little
Yeah.
chest buster.
I mean, her
crybaby.
deadline is in a week, so yeah, countdown starts that next week.
I'm actually quite surprised you've been with us this long.
This song,
Me too.
She's a rockstar. She's a titan, and she will be sorely missed. Obviously, she's not dying. We will still talk to her because we are dearly good friends. But you, our beautiful viewers, will not enjoy her lovely visage for a little while. So sad to say, or her beautiful artwork. You just have to wait until we get back to Vampire. When we are done with the Alien, there will be treats, because we will still keep on playing fabulous games, and we will mix it up. So please stay tuned and stay interested, and nerd hard, because we intend to. And,
we forgot one question.
What question is that?
No, take it
Any regrets?
I'll take it up first.
No, me.
No, as a player, no.
I'm
my
starting
character
Tarjei.
has a lot.
Let Marianne start.
I'm going to say I regret not interacting more with Queen of Bones. That's and it has nothing to do with your little crazy Game of Thrones disgusting scene in the end that threw us all off. But I think she was such a cool character in the beginning, and
she's still a cool character.
Yeah,
Gross
she
as hell.
will. But I'm quite sure that she was standing with this character is going to be different now. So that's my Shiv. I think she has too many regrets to even mention. So yeah.
Well, come on, you had the opportunity. You actively had to run away from her. At the museum.
Yeah. And at the Velvet Rope opening. So yeah,
that's fine. Just claim that you were the one who did. You're technically you are responsible for her getting a child. So like quite technically, she should.
Oh, that's true. Yes. I can say I provided. No, I don't know about that. So.
Oh, she's currently feeding that child from her.
But
very
Shiv doesn't
morbid
know.
breasts.
But Shiv doesn't know this. So.
Like I said, we're just gonna have to kill every Nosferatu.
And do you see? I did not mention regretting killing Teresa. So
No.
Now I've said that.
Oi, bye.
No, but yeah, like I mean, I have no regrets as a player, but as my character, like Chris, oh yeah, whole season 3 is going to be but regrets.
Yeah.
That's going to be his tagline. Hashtag regrets.
Yeah. Well,
When I
me
say
as
let's go someplace like Naples, let's go someplace like Naples.
Any regrets, Oyan?
not as a player, but Sean is he has a few, but he's not been in control of them. He has let the beasts run with him too many times, and his main regret is not being in contact with his humans, but he didn't have the time.
I mean, if anything, I'm gonna go with what Mariana's version Mariana said, which like she regrets Queen of Bones, but none of us had anything really to do with the Malkaos.
No.
I'm like I feel a bit sorry that's pair of interesting, what seems to be really interesting NPCs we didn't get a chance to explore.
Yeah.
We have a completely different season 3 coming up where
Yeah.
you will have reasons
Good.
to
Which is also good,
interact
you know,
with the
not tap every NPC in season 2.
Yeah,
and
it will
as
be
far
too
as you know,
much.
they are alive because half the freaking gallery died. So
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you could have said keeping my grandsire on ice, but no.
Oh
No.
no, I'm not regretting that. I'm sure Chris is gonna end up regretting it at some point.
That's for season 3/4.
If he were a generation lower.
Katrina, do you have any regrets or missed opportunities that you?
Oh, probably several. Because that is as a part of being a storyteller, you always have high expectations of how you tell a story, describe NPCs, or lead your players. There was always it's when you work creatively, like one day you love what you have produced, and one day you're like, I suck, and then no, I love it. No, I suck.
Yeah.
And then you have the opportunity of going back and watching what you did.
Yeah.
And then, why didn't I do that?
Yeah, I've had many a moments where I'm like, ugh, why did I say that? Why didn't I? That I could have. Everything was there for the taking, and then I'm like, no, we're gonna go that road because like mirror. There are no concrete scenes that jump at me because I think because you as players, you create so many opportunities for me. So if I mess up one, you are very, very good and clever at finding new ones.
Yeah, but it's not messing up because this is improvised.
That's what I say.
There
It's
is
like you
no
can't.
script here. There is
No. Regrets.
Not maiming us emotionally even more.
Even
Come on,
more,
admit it.
No, I'm gonna stand by what I have produced with you three because I think it has our hearts and our creativity and our passion in it, and I have to stand by it. So I will not regret anything. I will wholeheartedly defend it and stand by it. All dialogues or actions have led to more play, for good or bad or indifferent. So no, I will be cocky and bold and say no. If I got a chance, I would do it all over again just to say.
And on that note, I think I can safely say that I speak for all of us, all of your players, to say thank you. It's been incredibly fun. I mean, Vampire was never my favorite game to begin with. Like traditionally, within the World of Darkness, I always like both Werewolf and Mage more, but this has definitely become one of the most memorable campaigns that I've ever played. So it's been emotional. It's been great fun.
I
Like
love
no
you
regrets here
all.
either.
Yeah.
I love you.
And I've got
I think
some
that's
great
why
playing
I'm
on
going to miss it so much. Like
But you get to watch
being on
us.
this break.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like I
know,
say,
but
I
it's
think-
not the same.
You get to comment.
I mean, it's like
ask questions.
yes, But
And
no.
you get to have your baby.
I want to be tormented with you. I want to die and be afraid in small narrow spaces and an alien spaceship. I don't know.
But I'm not gonna say that it's been great
One
fun.
question,
I mean,
Mariana.
I've played.
Does your husband know you're this crazy?
No. He suspects, but he doesn't know. And he told me today, well, I'm not a vampire, honey. And I was like, well, you're an emotional vampire, so it's fine. He didn't like that answer.
No, but I think it's been great to play. I mean, I played with Ian lots before. I played with Katrina as a storyteller back in the day. It's been a long time, but I never really played with you before, Marianne, and it's been absolute joy. It's been great fun.
The dynamics we have and the fun we have is a reason why we managed to find time to do this so much as we do. It's because we enjoy each other and we enjoy what we do, and we are immensely appreciative for you guys that actually do view, choose to comment, and are active in our passion. We talk about it and we appreciate it, and I don't know how to express how much it means to all of us that you take time out of your lives to join us on this road into nerdiness and stories and all the things we love. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And on that note, this is gonna be the last bit of Vampire for a while. But please stay tuned. Yeah, Alien is coming up next, and it's gonna be
after this we'll send the first look at the intro.
It's so cool. I'm gonna pee my pants. It's so cool. So cool. Did I say I get to be a player? Yes. Torment me. I want it. It's gorgeous. All right. So for the final time for season 2, stay safe, take care of one another, and bye.
Bye.